I want to show you some of the knife collections I've had over the years. I started it with when I was real young, and hopefully my son Jacob will enjoy them when I'm gone, which I'm never going to go anywhere. Anyway. This is a fast draw holster. It's called Texas Fast Draw. You put a lock back knife in it. This is a lock back. You have to push that button and it locks it. Problem with these is if you put them in your pocket, you got to find them in your pocket, you got to pull them out, and you got to flip it open. And if you're in a hurry, that ain't a hurry. It has to be a 6-incher or 5.5. Put it in there. You can get it with either hand. Get it with this hand, or you can take your other hand. Can't beat it. You're there for defense. You're not looking for your knife. You're not fumbling trying to get it open. Once you touch it, it's open and it's in front of you. These are those fancy knife sharpeners. They're good only when you already have an edge or on your knife. That's all they're good for. And in emergency, I guess they're all right. But again, they're not what you need. These are some of my knives I've picked up over the years. This is, I can't tell, I can't even got my glasses on. Anyway, that's one of my knives. This is another buck knife. Some of these I found, some of them I bought, some of them given to me. Yeah, this is my son Jacob. He bought that in Las Vegas, Nevada. Put his name on it. This is a Husky. This here's another old knife of mine. Had for years. It's been a good one. I pick up some of these old knives like this. They come in handy. You never know when you're going to need one, but when you collect them, you don't know you're collecting them, you just get them. This here is American knife. Got the eagle and the flag on it. Got that from my son Jacob. This is another little knife. Always need a knife, a good knife. This here is a I'm not certain what it is, but it's a knife that you just pull on the handle and it flips out. And this is another old knife I've come across. And this is somebody asked me if I had one of these one time, and I told them I didn't know what one was. But it's got everything you need on it: pliers, cutters, screwdrivers, knife, can openers, a little bit of everything. Real handy to have, especially when you're out in the wilderness or even in the city. If you don't have a knife or a spoon or a fork or a tool to work with. This is an old timer. I've had it for quite a while. Been a good knife. This one here is called a Ruana, and it's made in Bonner, Montana. A friend of mine used to own that shop there in Bonner, Montana, and he's dead now. Good man. I think his son-in-law now runs the things for him, but this blade is made out of car spring steel. You can put one of the sharpest edges on it because of the fineness of the metal. It's just a super, super nice, expensive knife. So that was back then. It's twice as expensive now. This here is just another old timer. This here is a very handy little tool. It's pretty old. It's made by the Bell System. I don't know what they cut with it, but it's good for cutting meat and chopping up stuff. Whacking at a bone. It's pretty heavy. Got nice handles on it. I think it was handmade. Oh, this is another neat little knife. You got to be careful how you put it out. Sort of like a switchblade, except it's got a button on it. You just pull back and forth. And it's just another little old knife I found somewhere. Got two of them. This here's a knife I've had for quite a while. It's called a Texas Skinner, and it's got a nice bevel here for getting hides off if you're a hunter, or if you got cut in the kill and you need the skin off. Works real well, as long as it's sharp. These are some of my small knives collected over the years. This is a pretty rare one. It's handmade and stays pretty sharp, wood handled. It's actually a knife protector, protects some of your old knives. One little knife. This is an old one. This is a Boy Scout knife. I was in the Boy Scouts for a couple of years, and I can't remember, somebody gave that to me. I didn't buy it, didn't have enough money to buy one back then. But it's Boy Scouts. This is another old Remington knife. Makes a good one. This is actually called the switchblade. And as you can see, those other knives got out just as fast. It's got a little button on it, push it. This is an old Craftsman. This is an old Indian from the Pro Rodeo Association back in my old days, young days. This is another Remington, old Remington. Hard to come by anymore. Another Remington. This here is another Boy Scouts knife. It's very rare, hard to come by, especially the older ones are. You'd think you Boy Scouts would hang on to them. I did mine. This is a knife I found out in, actually I forgot where the hell I found it at. It was up on the mountainside, Quartzsite. Yeah. Can't believe somebody'd lose that. This here knife is given to me by a friend of mine who makes knives down in Mississippi. I had a knife made out of railroad spike. Gave it to my friend that I met, Scott. He really liked it. Somebody admires the knife that much, I just had to let him have it. That's pretty much it as far as the knives are concerned. But knives are used for a lot of different things. Self-protection, cutting wood, whittling, cleaning your fingernails, scraping your butt, whatever. One thing about knives, if you use them for self-defense, they're great. But if you don't have one, get you one of these.